Have you ever wanted to stitch with a double needle or twin needle? You can. We're just going to go ahead and add a second spool of thread to the top of the machine on the auxiliary thread stand that I've added, or thread spool holder. I'm going to take my current needle out, and it fits right in just like a regular needle. Now set the machine for a straight stitch. That way when you start sewing, you're not left on like a decorative stitch that's too wide and the needle will go off the edge of the fabric and go off the edge of the foot and break the needle. You really are just going to thread the second thread right on top of the first thread. Make sure it gets down in the tension disc and in all the normal guides. It's just when you get down to the needle, you're going to just put one in one needle and one in the other. It doesn't matter which one you actually choose to thread first. If you lower down the presser foot, that's always a little bit easier. And we're going to show you that a double needle can be used for straight stitching. It can be used to duplicate that hem you see on a lot of t-shirts or sweatshirts. You can free motion quilt with a double needle. But first off, make sure that as you stitch, everything stitches smoothly, maybe a few turns by hand and a little slower speed until you're confident everything is working well. This is fun. I've got two different colors in the machine right now. We have kind of a green and pink, so that's what it's going to look like. Now, if I do pick a decorative stitch or a zigzag, you first want to check the package. For example, this package is 2.5 millimeters. This machine will stitch up to 7 millimeters. So what I need to do is make sure that I reduce the stitch width down to 4.5 millimeters wide or less, 4.5, and then that way I know that I'm not going to overstep my boundaries and accidentally break my needle. Now, I'll just use the zigzag because I know it's a little bit narrower. It doesn't come up at the full stitch width, and it actually looks fun. But once again, if you do pick a decorative stitch, we'll want to adjust for that setting. So there you go. See how fun that is? So let's try one. Let's do the feather stitch. And I think the feather stitch doesn't stitch really wide. We'll just narrow it down just a little bit here. And once again, I will hand turn the first few stitches so I can see that that needle doesn't go off the edge of the foot. But now we have a double row of feather stitches coming down. Now, double needles come in different sizes, so as you change from a narrower one to a little bit wider one, this will change the final look of the decorative stitch. Haha, love it. That almost looks a little Christmassy. So have some fun with this. Look, we've almost doubled our decorative stitch options here. So instead of 20, you now have 40 different ways to stitch a stitch.